that much, but we will be dragging that over for when the time comes to pay retirement and so forth for the employees that we have right now. The sewer department, this was the one that was outsourced to JCO again back in November 1 year ago. Again, we had 3 people at the village wastewater plant. One person resigned, actually our operator. We could not fill that position with, we needed an operator to operate the plant according to the DEC. We could not afford to wait any longer, so 3 months after that person left, we hired JCO to oversee just the operation of it. Sewer administration, $65,569. We have a balance of $24,370. Professional services, this is JCO, $178,000. We have a balance of $32,249. Special sewer items, again, a contingency, for lack of a better term, if we need that money within that sewer plant. Sewer operations, we budgeted $259,000. We have a balance of $56,633. Sewer employee benefits, again, the same thing as with the water. Okay, we will pull this money out for employee benefits at the end of the year. Okay, now we have a debt service on the sewer plant, $22,000. We budgeted $22,447. I don't have the exact numbers right now as far as how many years that we have, but it goes back to in searching our files, we had an outstanding, and I brought this up to Chris, an outstanding budget of $1.1 million in the sewer budget back in 2011. Our water, I believe, was $80,000 that we budgeted. We budgeted $547,000 in this one. Bank balances as of yesterday. Capital reserves, $340,693. The facilities and sewer, right now, this was formed in 1995.
Yes.
Okay. We finally saw to it that money has to be transferred. This is going to be growing by Friday, okay, as we reach into our budgets for the water and sewer. The water account we use as a clearinghouse. All the checks come in there, and then we take out what we need, and we transfer it over to the water as well as the facility. Transfer it over to the sewer as well as the facilities. Multi-fund, $1.9 million. PAL account, $2,476. Planning and zoning, $2,169. Road maintenance, $14,752. Road opening, $6,955. We have in the sewer account, as of yesterday, $10,991. The water account, we have $191,046. Trust and agency, we have $173,208. Village capital, $71.00. And the wastewater plant, wastewater treatment plant, $597. When we receive monies from EFC, it goes into, they have the multi-fund account. As soon as that money comes in, because it's coming in through requisitions from the contractors signed by the engineers, we transfer that to wastewater treatment plant, and those checks are then issued from there. Progress of our wastewater plant. You want to talk about these, or?
Sure. This is the just part, a very small part of what's called the SBR tank, which is basically going to replace the 2 existing much smaller tanks that we have that process the sewer. The raw sewage will go into this, and then it starts filtering out. there's actually two much larger, which you'll see in later pictures, in the middle, and then there's 4 around the edges where the pumps and the motors will be installed. As you can see, the pumps aren't in yet. That's the progress as of today.
This was a change order, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
We have 4 change orders in total.
Mm-hmm.
One, I think, costing us minimal. I think it was HVAC contract, which was $150,000 total contract. And one change order, we get a credit of $40,000.
Which is, well, one was for the dirt and one was for this when they switched from
Yes.
the poured concrete to the precast
Yes, so
concrete.
that saved us money, but more importantly, it saved us time.
A lot of time. Yeah, this is all part of the, it percolates and it rotates the sewage and aerates it, which is what all the things on the bottom are. Air gets pumped through those lines.
It's an interesting concept.
Yeah, the pictures don't do it justice. I mean, it's
You
huge.
went fishing, I see, huh?
Yes.
Okay.
This is just
You
an
wanna explain
example.
that?
Yeah, this is the old part of the plant that's going to be taken offline. And this is more of a public service to all our residents. This process is 3 steps down the line. And that, I'll call it fishing line, are wet wipes. People think it's okay to flush wet wipes. It's not. It completely damages our equipment down there. It clogs up lines, it seizes pumps and motors, and it shuts the plant down constantly, and it's a lot more maintenance involved. And again, that's just, they empty these out like 4 or 5 times a day. They'll walk around, they'll pull these out, and this is the 3rd step down the line. The first step is unbelievable how much they pull out. Which
So
is,
this gets by the first.
yeah, so really as residents have to be educated, they're not biodegradable. They might say it on the package, but they're not. And they just destroy our sewer plant. And so hopefully by the time we go online, we can educate people a little better to please stop flushing these down the drain.
And that's not just handy wipes, that's diapers, paper
Yeah,
towels.
yeah, absolutely. Well, paper towels are biodegradable, but.
No, not all, some of them, there's some that you can't even rip apart.
That's the old building that's gonna be taken down. That's the old pump station, which is underground, you can't see it from this photo. I guess
New
the,
pump station is back here.
yes, which we're gonna see in a second, yeah.
I think I transferred that over. No, I don't think.
That's the old, it's still online now, that's the old sand filter, which I think is, what, 35 years old, which is really not really functioning. We're really kind of working without it, but that's gonna be eliminated as well. That is,
The Sure Shack
Yes.
Road.
yes,
Yeah,
You
if
can
you've
talk
ever
about
seen
that.
the
Talk
Sure
about
Shack
that.
Redemption, this is where he escaped from. The other night, actually 2 weeks ago, I
Mhm.
believe, one of the pumps in this room failed, which the water was up to this area here. You could see it. Okay, so what we had to do, JCO had given me a call. We contacted Capola, who had a pump on site that was able to pump just under 1 million gallons a minute. And you can just watch the water. And this is the last place before, well, the second to last place before it goes into the movement. So the water in here is pretty clean. I wouldn't drink it, but it is clean.
but the other, I'm sorry, Joe, I'll point out is the lack of maintenance
Yeah.
on this plant over the years. I mean,
This
that's
is
an
why we're
electrical
doing it.
panel
Yeah.
that's completely unsafe, it doesn't even work anymore, and that controls the motors and the pumps that Joe was talking about that failed. I mean, there's been 0 maintenance literally on this plant since the day it was built.
Actually, Capola, the project manager of Capola, worked on this plant when it was being built. So he knows where all
The bones are
the
buried.
bones are buried, yeah. This is,
That's the
again,
new lift station there. That's the building for it, the housing. Actually, no, I'm sorry, that's the chemical building.
Chemical building.
That's the new chemical
Right
building.
over here is where the pump station
Yeah.
is. I don't have, again, this is the Shawshank room.
That's the facility that we are gonna take offline. That's where the sewage now rotates,
Yes.
yeah, and gets skimmed off. Yes, yes, the liquor mix.
It gives an education, I mean, before, actually, I could speak, I guess I could speak for everyone. Before we actually got involved in this, no one really knew where this stuff was going. Okay, no
Just
one really
watch it.
cared
Watch it.
where it was going. And now we care, because it's costing us a lot of money. I think this is the last slide it is. Questions? Okay, you can pick up a copy of this on Friday. I also have a list of all the contractors that equal the monies that's been spent. Okay, that would be available free of charge on Friday. Yes?
Just to clarify,
Go ahead.
who didn't care? Well, you just said that no one cared.
No, I don't think any one of us cared, okay? Where all of this stuff
Past
goes.
boards?
No, people. You know, when you,
I think when people get their bill, they care, but
when they do, as they wave by, you know, it goes somewhere. And
well, they just aren't educated, they don't know.
that's,
the
it all comes
process.
down to education.
All right.
Which goes back to the wipies and everything else.
Yes,
Right. Just two other things.
Go ahead.
When Rich made a good point about the transference of the green area, you might want to also clarify that that does not count as side area that they can build to that point using the
yeah,
green area
that's
as.
something that,
Well, you said
It
you can't
is-
build on it.
it is a given, but yes, it has to be clarified.
I'm just saying
Yes,
to not
it's
be
not
able
part
to
of
use that
setbacks.
green area as their
Correct.
side
Setback.
yard
Yes,
setbacks.
yeah, it's not part of
Also,
any setbacks.
And this is very minuscule and it'll sound probably very petty,
I'll
but,
let you know.
well, I'm saying it before you
Okay,
tell me.
all right.
When you came up to zoning and planning, no stipend checks went out last year. It's
Okay.
$25, truly doesn't matter, but just to clarify,
That would be carried on the last year's budget.
well, it was-
Still no checks went out.
right, I'm
But,
just
you know,
saying,
what we
last
wound
year.
up doing this year was paying a lot of bills. Probably up until the month of, no.
That's fine.
Probably up until the month of, or beginning of May from last year's budget, because bills were not paid.
why
Right.
not?
Why not? I don't know. That's a great question.
Well,
That's not a
whose-
petty question, that's a good one.
Whose responsibility was to
They're not
oversee
here
that?
anymore.
Well, someone had to oversee the person who isn't no longer here.
Yeah, so, yeah, that's why they weren't paid, because there was no oversight on it.
There were no checks and balances.
Okay.
That's what the state said in their order. That there was no oversight of the village board.
For how long?
So that was
2011.
in 2013 when they did that order. And when you ask the mayor who didn't care, who do you think didn't care?
I don't know,
Somebody
that's
didn't
why
care.
that's
Somebody
why.
didn't care, right?
I'm being
Well,
nice when I
I'm
said it's
just,
the public.
I mean, I really think that it's time though that we stop talking about past boards, because you've been on the board multiple years, so it can't keep being the past, I mean, you inherited something that's not great, but I mean, someone made a great comment on
We
Facebook.
inherited something that's not great. We inherited monies that we're still paying
I know,
on
but
stuff that we didn't get.
I get that, but everything is always blamed on because of past boards. And,
No,
I mean,
I'll take
some of
full,
these board members have been on the board for at least
Right.
3 years.
I will take full blame for
Oh, I'm not-
something. No, hold on. I will take full responsibility, I should say, for the time that this board has been together, okay, on things. But I will not take the blame for something that happened back in 2008. I will not do that.
Well, and,
Right now, we are paying, out of this year's budget, an exorbitant amount of money on bonds, okay, from previous administrations, okay? Bonds that don't make any sense. It's coming out of this year's money. It's not fair that this is coming out of this year's money, okay? And last year, and next year, and the year after that.
okay, and
Go ahead.
just as you're saying that you will only take responsibility for this board here, you know what it was like being one person on a board that did not agree. So you cannot keep penalizing every board member from the past because they're one vote, whether they're mayor or trustee, they're outvoted. So there can't continue. I just think it's bad policy to keep referring to past board, past board, past board.
History repeats itself, okay?
Well,
And right now, I'm authorizing a bond payment every year for the past 2 years on wells